England versus Australia is a rivalry that every cricket fan digs. This T20I series between these two arch rivals in another world would have had so much context right on the heels of the T20 World Cup 2020 that was scheduled to happen in Australia in a few weeks' time. But all of that is gone. But not all context is lost on this series, as the upcoming IPL provides a good perspective to judge players in this series. That is why this is no more just a white ball tourney between these two sides, but a contest of immense context. England named their T20I squad as a few regulars returned to their fold: Jofra Archer, Mark Wood and Jos Buttler. All three of them did not make it to the T20I squad versus Pakistan because they were busy playing Test cricket, which is why there'll be a lot of eyeballs waiting to see how they perform with the white ball after having played with the red ball for over 10 weeks for England. Rajasthan Royals in particular will have their gaze steadfast on how Jofra Archer and Jos Buttler go about their business. They've not played white ball cricket for England for a while. They last played a T20I for England way back in February early this year. And with growing uncertainty on Ben Stokes' return to the fold, there'll be a lot of pressure on Jos Buttler and Jofra Archer when they reach the UAE to play the IPL, which is why their performances in this T20I series against Australia becomes that much more crucial for our franchise as well as the fans of the Rajasthan Royals. But there are other franchises and fans who will have a close look at this series as well. One of them is KKR. Tom Banton and Eoin Morgan have been in smoking hot form in the white ball format, especially in T20Is against Pakistan. Both of them were key players in that England batting lineup, and KKR fans and franchise alike would like them to continue with just that flair. RCB though will look at Moeen Ali, who's been given a long rope by England selectors. Before the third T20I versus Pakistan, Moeen Ali had just amassed 58 runs from the last 5 T20I innings and picked only 2 wickets in the build-up to that third T20I against Pakistan. But that's where it all changed, at least with the bat for Moeen Ali, because he seemed to be in a good nick and seemed rearing to go. That will make RCB fans happy. What will make them happier is to see Moeen Ali go out there and smoke him against Australia as well. Australia though announced a 21-member joint squad for the T20I and ODI series, with some key experienced members forming the core of that team. The batting trio of Warner, Finch and Smith, aided by Glenn Maxwell, while the bowlers included the likes of Stark and Nathan Lyon. But some of their white ball superstars from the Big Bash also made the cut to the squad. Joshua Philippe, Riley Meredith and Daniel Sams find their names in that squad as well. Australia's preparation for the T20I series started with an intra-squad warm-up game where Glenn Maxwell shone and how his match-winning century helped his side win the game, and that will make Kings 11 Punjab franchise very happy, because add that to his record in the UAE for KXIP and suddenly he bundles up as a very good package. Glenn Maxwell's mindset though is the key here, because post that century he said that he doesn't want Australia to rely just on the batting trio of Smith, Finch and Warner, and he wants to take added responsibility. Add to that the fact that he said he's worked on his bowling during this lockdown, and that makes him a complete package. On the other hand, Delhi Capitals would be happy to see how Marcus Stoinis did in that warm-up game with the ball as well as with the bat, and they would want him to continue with that form in the T20I series as well. Glenn Maxwell and Marcus Stoinis though have not played T20I cricket for Australia for a very long time. Maxwell last played it in October 2019, while Stoinis last played a T20I for Australia way back in February 2019. Rajasthan Royals, Sunrisers Hyderabad and Royal Challengers Bangalore though won't be too worried with how Steve Smith, Aaron Finch and David Warner performed in that warm-up game. They didn't really get a hit, but they will have a keen eye on how they go in the T20I series, because they've, remember, not played a lot of cricket in the build-up to this T20I series. This series gives the three of them a very good chance of prepping as well as getting back in the nick. Then there are the young Turks. Daniel Sams, who's replaced Jason Roy at the Delhi Capitals, will come under scrutiny in this T20I. And there's a lot of talk about how Joshua Philippe lit up BBL last year. Can he do that against England in top flight cricket? If he can, that'll be good for RCB, who will bank on his big hitting abilities in the UAE. With England coming off a good show against Pakistan in the T20I series and having had more experience of white ball cricket in the recent past, they have an edge in this series against Australia, who've not really had that much of a match practice and a hit out in the middle. But you cannot write off Australia at any cost. The three T20Is will be played in a biosecure bubble in Southampton on September 4th, September 6th and September 8th. And you can keep a tab on all the action and not miss a beat right here on CricBuzz.